Not it, because I don't remember what happened last session.
I'll go ahead and do it again. Last week on the Leroy Jenkins, we successfully ran away. Jonathan's bomb was gigantic, and he did not die, thankfully. We ran and ran and ran some more, and then were confronted by telepathic adversaries who knocked out Ryu, and he just kind of disappeared in front of us. And we were brought to a camp to rest while the Duergar that we encountered went back to their elders to discuss whether they should ask us for our help or not, given that we had a nasty dwarf in our party. And we woke up to not Duergar in front of us, but zombie-like things. And that's where we woke up and left off that night. End of summary.
Indeed. So you went from Leroy Jenkins to Robin Hoods. Sir Robin. Very plain So, you did indeed find yourself with an individual who looks somewhat skeletal, but with a more earthy hue to it. Sitting in a chair that was not there before. It's completely stone. You refer to you all as haters.
Well, at least he hasn't killed us yet.
Yep. I like that part so far.
Indeed, and upon looking at your surroundings, you can indeed see as well as half-sunken humanoid forms. The eyes were full. So over to you guys. He's greeted you, and that is where we left off.
How did he greet us?
He just said, welcome seekers. I'm sure what else he said. I think that's where he kind of left it off. It's just a short greeting.
Individually, there was discussions,
There was what?
and they were going to go back to the council. They were letting us stay here while there was discussions with the council.
The Drew
Right.
River, yes. This is not a river.
Okay.
This is
Babe was gonna ask,
medium-sized
are y'all with-
humanoid.
Greetings. You have us at a disadvantage. May I inquire about who you are?
I am he to which the filthy dirt dwellers across the way refer to as the Lich. But if you prefer, give me a second, my throat.
That's entirely appropriate.
I was just about to ask, are you with the other guys we saw? We did, Rio.
Okay. So, yeah, there we go. Sorry, my throat was acting up a little bit. I figured you didn't all want to hear me coughing.
I appreciate it.
It seemed in character, actually.
Yeah, probably was. But I was, also letting players know.
Yeah.
Alright, so.
I'm looking around at my teammates. trying to communicate the fact that I am utterly terrified now. Lich bad. It's bad. We're surrounded.
So
Do
yeah,
not
he
antagonize.
later states, you may refer to me as the Earth Master if you wish.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Earth Master. This is quite a surprise meeting you here. We were not expecting to meet you when we wake up like this.
Indeed, you're expecting your Drugar contacts to return.
Yes, I'm presuming they are the Druagar. We never did see them.
So what's going on here, Earthmaster? Everyone seems reasonably friendly towards us, but you two seem to be at odds.
What would you feel about the area that you consider prize being infested with parasites?
Yeah, not good. But I
I
would
wouldn't feel
suspect
particularly
that
good
both
at
of
all.
you feel the same way about each other.
Oh, I'm not referring to the Drugar, but the parasite. They're just ones who
Oh.
permit parasites to enter, and thus must be expunged.
What are the parasites?
I believe you've encountered insectoid creatures that are not native here.
They're not native. They sure seem to know the area better than we did.
They are subterranean creatures, but they do not belong on this planet. As you do not, they do not. As the Drugar do not, they do not. The Drugar foolishly find a way here, set up a shop, and leaves the back door open to let other guests enter where the deer do not belong. And anyone who's unwilling to take care of a place that they decide they want to store do not belong there when they let other parasites enter.
So why do they call you a lich?
Because they see these as zombies. Obviously the caster who creates them, therefore it must be a lich.
Well, what are you really, Earthmaster?
You would probably refer to me as a Jew in this regard.
Okay. And what are these creatures if they're not zombies, even though they look similar to them?
Well, have you interacted with them?
I have not. We were too busy running from them.
He should reach out his hand and you see 6 of them right in front of you guys. Just like you see the earth move, and these things just like emerge up from the earth. A flash of arcane energy and all their eyes light up.
Is it
Okay.
more like a golem or an elemental?
It's similar. It's my own version of such. I took my younger days when I was apprenticed to some less savory wizards, but I was seeking the arcane and everything that was in the area. They were very fond of necromancy, so when I chose the more elemental path, they were unexpected, but I did understand their concept of lowly servants, and so I gathered the knowledge of both making golems and summoning elementals, as well as creating undead, and kind of created my own version of their undead beasts.
So these are no more undead than the earth itself is dead.
Take a look. Is there any flesh there? Is there any life that you see before you?
I see what appears to be a earth or dirt elemental in front of me.
May I inspect it closer?
Yeah. And actually, I should do a Arcana check on that.
While you guys are doing this, you may or may not notice, but hope is springing in his mind as he seems to have found a way out of his situation. And he will talk in a little bit.
So what does Baden get to do? Investigation, Arcana, whatever?
Whichever you want to use. Just tell me what you want to use and how you see yourself using it.
Okay, I'm just gonna investigate and look closely in how these creatures are created and stuff like that.
Okay.
What they're made of, more or less. 27.
Okay. You find dirt.
Okay.
That's beautiful.
14 Arcana.
You know there's plenty of different summonings of different creatures, and some creating of them. As to these, you've never heard of them before and are uncertain what they are.
Can I be certain whether they are undead or of necromantic origins?
That would be more of a religion to verify if they are zombies or not. However, I believe someone did say there's something wrong with them that didn't line up with zombies earlier.
Yeah, that's correct.
Right. I was assuming since I actually saw the spell being cast, I could use the Arcana basically on the casting itself to see what
You did.
sort of.
You saw energy,
Oh, so when
but you
he.
did not actually hear any verbal components.
Yeah, it doesn't
Well,
seem like there's
I-
many verbal components in this plane of Earth.
I know that you can cast spells without using verbal components, but so I saw energies, but I didn't actually see like spells being cast. I didn't see any of the other components that are for casting a spell.
You didn't see standard spellcasting. As to what you did, you were uncertain.
All right. Well, that would answer at least some of the question. But then, so I wouldn't be able to tell if it's, necromancy or anything similar. But
Yeah, you
I'm gonna
could
go
try
with that.
Casting a detect magic, and you could try that route, but
Nah.
none other.
I'm convinced that they're not undead, at least not of any normal sort.
I go, yeah, these are just dirt and occasional rocks mixed in. Yeah. As a part of that investigation, do I recognize any weaknesses or resistances to anything? Like, it's bad to poke dirt with pointy things?
Not particularly.
Okay.
They seem to not be necessarily overly potent, but they don't seem like he has a shortage of them either. And just because these ones aren't doesn't mean he doesn't have other forms that are, or something.
Right.
These are just a basic grunt form.
Okay. And I'll
As
use
you
a
see-
class ability as part of the investigation to what the creature's type is.
As you all see Sybil, that will allow you to feel more at ease. He gestures, and you see all of them just like turn into like mud or something, just go back down to the ground.
I appreciate the gesture.
Cookie summons his charm and trying.
Hey, give me a second to answer that.
No problem.
Cookie, continue.
He actually is charming when he wants to, and he's not terrified. It's like, oh, so we've been getting kind of a raw deal here. You know us, so perhaps you know why we're here?
I have a feeling.
So, we thought that we were going to save some dwarves from some necromancer when we came here. And we didn't understand that here was the plane of Earth. We arrived at, it's been so long that the port name isn't in my head. Do you guys remember?
I have the system. I have the town that we're supposedly supposed to save. I don't have the actual port name.
It was written in Terran. We weren't able to translate it.
Okay. Well, we arrived trying to save dwarves, and we were met with a very unfriendly force who told us that there was, a disturbance under the surface that we were supposed to get rid of, and they were the only ones who had the ability to let us go there in the first place. So we decided to change the mission and help the surface dwellers get rid of the dwarves. We come down here and find that the dwarves are not dwarves. They're a Durgar. And the necromancer is not a necromancer. And it does seem that you are allied with those of the surface. Although, maybe unintentionally? You both want the Durgar gone.
We are not necessarily fully aligned, but we are associates.
Well,
They seek to patronize me, but I don't seem to be interested.
very well. We would love your help getting rid of these Durgar, or vice versa, we would love to help you.
And by what means do you plan to alleviate this plane of their presence?
We hadn't even figured out how to get over there. Honestly, we're kind of a failure at this point.
No, that
That-
is just build a bridge, or you may travel down and up, or you may proceed to the crossing point. The crossing point is probably the longest time frame, depending on what you're trying to do.
How far away is the crossing point?
Oh, it's a couple days travel to it, and then of course, probably a day across because you have to go down and there's a few points to kind of get across. There's a junction where they built a where a crossing has been built further, where there's a few points of connection across them, and so it kind of zigzags a bit, so it takes a while to cross the cavern. But there is a means.
Are we likely to encounter more of those vile insects?
It's probable, especially within the closer you're near to the Druger's point of entrance.
Are the Drugar in league with the insects, or are they at war with the insects?
Neither. They are foolish and think that this plane is just a means of acquiring wealth to them. And they foolishly have allowed these pests to enter.
So is this like a typical invasive species that could take over if we're not careful?
Take over to some extent, but they're a problem.
Well, they surely need to stop letting these monsters in. And if they're going to let the world be desecrated, then they should probably leave themselves.
Hence why I've waged war on them, and they apparently have successfully sent out for aid. Whether that aid is given to her or not sounds like it's unlikely, based on what you've spoken. Whenever he talks, you hear an undertone of like grinding earth and rock in his voice.
So if you are the enemy they wish fought, and you wish them to leave because they are desecrating this land,
Or allowing desecration indirectly.
well, desecrating directly and indirectly, I don't believe there's much hope for a diplomatic solution at this point, do you?
I will let you all speak amongst yourselves and will return in a moment. And you see he subsides into the ground, vanishes, and I will be back in just a minute. So you all have a few moments to talk.
He's probably still listening.
Probably. I think if we can convince the Drugar to be peaceful and find some mutually agreed upon negotiation, then that would be great. But if the Drugar needed us here to fight him, not to fight the insects, I feel no need to do so. If it was the insects, I'd be okay with it. As long as they would close the door so no more insects would get in.
Correct. All right, Yonovan.
How stubborn
sound-
a Drugar.
It sounds almost like we're declaring war on the Drugar now.
No, I'm saying we say, I'm sorry, we can't help you, and we ask to leave and ask if the geomancer can tell us a safe route back.
I'm guessing no one wants to fight more of those insect things.
So we're kind of
Rio would
in
not
over
like to
our
not
head.
meet them again.
We know a little bit more about how to fight them, and given what they are, seem attracted to sound, stuff like that. But there's a lot more of them than there are of us.
We're better equipped, but still, I don't want to fight
There's
an
a lot
unending
more
horde
of
them.
every faction than there are of us.
Correct.
Right, we would have to align with a faction to fight either of them, but I don't see the point in fighting this individual simply for money, which is probably out of character for Rio, but whatever. She's not very happy about being in this plane at all, so she wants to go home.
We do need to recoup something
being
of
the
our
ship.
costs.
We already kind of did by the original.
Even if it's a complete loss financially, we've got enough money in the bank. Rio doesn't care.
Correct. Rio wants to
All
go.
right.
A financial loss is much better than a loss of life,
Correct.
or getting stuck fighting more of those bugs forever.
Also correct.
However, we can wait until the Drugar come and communicate with us, and we can hear their side of it and ask them if there's any mutually agreeable solution.
I get the feeling that they aren't going to come say hi to us.
I don't know. I mean, they said they were going to be back, but here's this other person. So my point being is, if we talk to them, and we try to resolve this peacefully. If we don't talk to them, then, well, We don't resolve it
Are
peacefully.
we really? Okay. So we've spent many days down here in the dark, and I totally understand not wanting to stay. Are we essentially? I see two choices: leave, or try to convince and or fight the Drugar to leave. I don't know what we could do to convince them, because they seem intent on staying regardless.
Right.
I assume
Well,
this
so
geomancer can clean up any remaining insectoids in his realm eventually.
mhm.
as well as potentially being able to help us remove the Drugar if
The
we.
question is, why has he not succeeded thus far?
there's
Sounds
probably
like there's an open portal. Like the
a
way
lot
that
of Drugar.
the way the Duergar came in, they left the door open. He said. So however they got here, through whatever portal they created, it's still open.
And also, if lots of those insects are coming in here, they could be slowing him down or draining resources, and that may be intentionally what the Drugar are doing. If the Drugar are comfortable dealing with the insects or know how to keep them away or make them, not be a problem, then the Drugar would be happy to have something else, some Zerglings to stop the other people from attacking them.
Grown up Zerglings.
But
That's a reasonable
Re-
strategy.
Rio would like to stay out of the land war and stay away
Asia?
from the land wars in Asia. Yes, good advice there.
So Ryu has a
And
vote for book it?
if there's no way for a diplomatic solution, which is very unreal-like, but if just talking to both sides we can't figure out, oh hey, here's what happened, here's how we solve it, we're not going to fight a land war in Asia. At least Rio's not. I mean, I guess the other thing that could happen to change her mind is you help me or you die, but I mean, at that point, the decision is made and we fight to the death.
Saradin, what do you think? Or is it Aerolith with us now?
It's
I think
Aerolith
that's
still.
right.
Hey, Aerolith. One of Aerolith's bodies is only -3 to all, rolls now instead of -4. It got a long rest. Yay!
I'm sorry, was someone asking me a question? I was out of the room.
Yeah.
What does Aerolith think about all of this?
Aerolith really doesn't want to scrap another mission.
Huh.
What do you mean by that?
Aerolith
But-
wants to do something, not leave.
Not leave, actually finish it. Rio
Yeah.
agrees with that, but Rio doesn't want to fight an unending land war between two large factions.
So let's talk about all of the parties involved here, right? I mean, besides us. We
Yes.
have the original mission, which was what we believe, the Drugar asking for a lich to be removed, or a necromancer, or whatnot. We have the dwarves on the other side saying the Drugar need to be removed because they're defiling the land. And now we have our Geo Necromancer who wants just the damn door closed.
That sounds accurate.
The Geomancer did state he would like the Drugar removed because anyone who is this incompetent to allow pests into an area don't deserve to be in the area. Basically,
Right.
don't respect the land. Be gone.
Understandable for a Geomancer.
Druid-ish response, really.
I'm also going to point out right there that it'd be very hard for us to actually fight him if he drops into the earth like that every time.
Not to mention that he can, for
Make
all we know, summon an endless army.
of constructs.
I think openly opposing this this creature, for lack
We
of a
could
better
go-
word, would end in our deaths.
I would agree with that.
We could try to go talk to the other side.
That's going to be a 4-day journey minimum.
No.
It might be a 4-day journey just to get to them, to talk to them.
Unless we are
Uh,
assisted.
The
And
geomancer, if we're going to talk to them and try and convince them to leave, or at very minimum stop the stupid bugs from coming in, he might be willing to assist us. Now we might fail at that, but we could at least try. And if I remember right, our original goal was to try and convince the Drugar to leave by solving their problem in exchange for them leaving, was one thought.
Right. That was the best
So-
I could come up with.
Basically, that's still kind of the same solution as, hey, if we can solve your problem, will you quit being stupid or leave? It's probably the answer is going to be no.
Hey, dwarf, how do dwarfs feel about meeting somewhere that they see a good place to
Right.
get resources?
I know it's not going to happen, but that's about the only way besides killing them or forcing them through military might.
They're not leaving.
We figured about as much.
They're
Right.
telepathic. They're adept at paralysis or poison.
And
They
they
can
are more
see us when
stubborn
we
than
can't
the
see
normal
them.
dwarf.
We are not
No,
equipped to fight Durgar.
No, we're not equipped to fight anything in here.
We are not equipped to fight the things in the ground.
So, as a player, my only hope is that we could convince them to lock the freaking door and not let any more bugs through. And or maybe they would say, "Oh well, because of the magic we weren't able to," or whatever. Like maybe it's just a screw up that they tried to close it or couldn't close it, whatever else, and that the solution would be for us to figure out how to close it.
Or they're actually smart enough to realize that it's the bugs are the only reason why our geomancer hasn't kicked them all out beforehand.
Yeah. So maybe we could talk with the geomancer and ask him if he'd be willing to negotiate with them should they solve the bug problem.
hey guys,
Mm-hmm.
Those are my player thoughts.
we could go up to the surface and talk with those guys and say, hey, you guys know all about going through gates and stuff. Can you make sure that they're closed wherever the Dugar came from? And that these insects don't get through? Because they seem more like gatekeepers to me.
They definitely seem like they know what they're doing.
And if they can assume the geomancer can handle the Durgar problem, then that's probably about the best we can do. I don't think we can do anything down here.
I don't know. Did the Drugar, when we met with them and talked with them, actually say, besides, there is a lich that is being a problem, we need help?
No. They were mostly like, why are you here? Not antagonistic, but not super friendly.
I mean,
Well, even
they
after
were-
we said, hey, we saw this build to come help these people, you guys?
But we had a dwarf with us.
yeah.
I weren't sure about that.
So,
And they
For
think
what
they're
it-
dwarves, and they're not.
For what it's worth, Cleoc wants to get out of here. He thinks we're in over our head.
Cookie wants to go and talk to the people on the surface and suggest that they deal with the problem by closing the gate and or preventing the insects from coming in.
right, but I don't.
And talk to the geomancer to see if that would, before we leave, because of the people here, we're probably most allied with him.
Yeah, the other thing I'd say to those, if the people who have already stated they don't want the Drugar there, they want the Drugar to leave, could just close the Drugar's gate. Wouldn't they have done it already?
They might not be.
That'd be pretty.
They might not want to fight with them.
Oh,
They might be
so they could.
pacifists.
Well, what I'm thinking is they could maybe potentially be able to, but they couldn't just do it on a whim.
Right.
If they could do it on a whim, they would have done it already and told the Druger, okay, we closed your gate. When you're willing to leave, we'll open it up. You leave, you never come back. But they would have done that already, right?
Probably.
Let's be honest. The Drugar wouldn't want to talk to our dwarven people up there because they're dwarves.
Right. But the dwarves
guys
could
you
send a
came
message
with
to them
aren't
and
all
just say, hey, look,
dwarves.
They weren't all
The group
dwarves.
that you came in with are not all dwarves. They're mixed race.
but they all like worship Earth or something similar, right? Or it's more religious.
Yes, they are all of some sort of infatuation or servitude or something. You're not sure.
I'm just gonna go with the dwarves or the surface dwellers could have sent a message to the Drugar some way saying, hey, look, we're gonna close your gate. Go through it now, or stay there. If that is assuming that those people could just close the gate on a whim. My guess is that they just can't close the gate on a whim.
Okay. So
Well, so now it seems like
Theoden has a vote that he doesn't want to abandon the mission.
Ryu doesn't want to abandon the mission, but she doesn't want to deal with fighting tons more of those buggers or dealing with a war. My player, me, has not heard the side from, or has not heard a good description of the sides or their beliefs from the other two parties. The surface dwellers were like, well, we'll let you there, but we want them gone. We don't think they should be here. They're being bad about their taking care of it, which sounds to be the truth. And then we know that they talked to us for a minute, but I don't really get what they had said helpfully to us. Besides, well, we'll talk with our elders of whether we'll talk to you or not, or work with you or not.
Correct.
So, besides the fact that we know they're fighting this guy, the Earthmaster, do we know anything else about why they're here other than to mine resources and why this whole thing is a problem? Because I assume that the dwarven people and the earth worshipping people, I mean, maybe they're just coming here as a pilgrimage and an homage, but wouldn't they also be mining resources, I assume? Didn't we see
From
them
what we
moving?
asked them, they were producing things underneath the earth, not taking from the earth.
Okay,
Renewable resources, probably shrooms.
okay, I wasn't sure. I remember them
Yeah.
carrying large amounts of stuff out. I didn't
We
remember
asked.
us asking. Okay. So they're not actually removing anything. So
In their eyes, they're not harming it or by removing.
right. But even without the bugs, the Drugar would still be harming it.
In their eyes, correct.
Yeah.
By mining.
Yeah. Now that is, I don't know. Rio probably wouldn't actually ask that of the Earthmaster.
Baden doesn't want to abandon a mission, and he would feel much more confident fighting something with those constructs next to him. Because it looks like they can take a beating. At least a little bit of a beating, at least.
How does Yanovan actually feel about Drugar?
Yanovan?
Yanovan's not here, is he?
Trying to turn my mic on with the one clean finger. Eating barbecue, sorry. So, in the eyes of a I've been trying to decide how Yonovan feels about it because for most dwarves, Duergar are fallen. They're not true dwarves anymore. They've been twisted by the mind flayers. So they're not really dwarves anymore. And so the fact that they're not accepted as dwarves is why they don't like me. But I don't think that's so. I have mixed feelings as a player character because dwarves kicked them out because they're not true dwarves. But at the same time, they were twisted by the mind flayers. They were tortured by the mind flayers. So as a group, we've decided to go against the mind flayers. So we should help the Duergar, but they're not really interested in our help at all. They don't seem to be. They seem to have been in
They
that
don't-
generational hatred.
So the Drugar are actively against the Mind Flayers.
Well, Moradin has rejected the mind flayers took. So Duergar was a clan of dwarves, and now it is a subrace. Moradin, the main dwarven god, has rejected them, and that's why the dwarves rejected them.
Right, but what I'm asking is, what is the Drugar's factional stance against, for or against the Mind Flayers, or neither? I understand that they were badly hurt by the Mind Flayers, but does that mean that they actively work against the Mind Flayers?
They are against the mind players, just like the Yankee are against the mind players. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're allies. Case in point, just because you're against the demons and the devils are against the demons doesn't mean you necessarily want to combat with the devils.
No, that's fair. I mean, mostly I was making sure that it's not one of those things where like some fallen race is, corrupted, but then they're like, yeah, we like it this way.
Mind flayers, to them, everyone is food and slaves.
Right.
So unless,
So
I'm
they
just
have
trying to figure out
slaves, not allies.
unless you're good with those, you're not really good with mind flayers.
No. I guess I was trying to figure out, do they hate Mind Flayers more than everyone else, less than everyone else, about equal?
And everyone else, well, mind flayers and you get along fairly well. They enjoy
Everyone
slaving
else
as
that's
true
not food.
slaves. Oh,
Or that doesn't want to be food, I should say.
you probably like them less than the drow. Because drow can get along with mind flayers to some extent. Because they're powerful enough that mind flayers don't always necessarily fight them. Because there's too many to, potentially go against. And they're both, very fond of slavery. However, they hate dwarves more than they hate mind flayers.
Okay, that was going to be my next question. All right, so I think I get an idea of it.
And the chief dwarven deity has kicked
Rejected
them.
them. Okay.
Which is precisely
So-
why they despise the
so-
dwarves.
So while I follow Bright Mantle, or yeah,
If they hate,
still chief
If
god.
they
is
hate-
still chief god.
dwarves more than they hate the Mind Flayers, Rio's not going to consider them an ally.
Seems fair.
So, Rio likes dwarves.
One of them saved me just yesterday.
Ryu likes dwarves more than she hates mind flayers.
Rio likes
There you go.
this dwarf more than she hates Mind Flayers.
There we go.
In general, it might flip-flop a little bit, but it's still, yeah, I like this dwarf a lot more, and I hate Mind Flayers.
They just
All right.
want to put their tentacles all over you.
And give your brain
Ooh.
a kiss.
Ha! That's what they don't know. I don't have a brain.
Kiss, and then snap your better. And your school. They want to see how delectable your brain becomes.
The fact that this group of Drugar has also already attacked our group.
Well, they knocked one out. They knocked Ryu out because Ryu saw the campsite and safe spot. That was the reason they gave me for it.
I assume I didn't take massive amounts of damage and wasn't rolling saving throws, so
You were given
or
a
not
set
saving
of
throws, death saves.
You literally roll a con save or fall unconscious and you're unconscious.
Right. So it's a knockout thing.
Okay.
I mean-
you were unconscious but stable.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a sleeping dart or sleeping gas, whatever, sleep spell.
Okay.
As far as when we're exploring in a dangerous area, if someone does that to you, that's about as peacefully as you
That's
can
fair.
get without just saying hi. So honestly, the fact that they did that and didn't harm me kind of proves that they're not our enemy.
They're not our enemy, but they're not our friend.
Right, they're neutral and we're neutral to
Right.
them. If we're neutral to everyone, can we just find a way home rather than going, aggroing a whole group?
But wouldn't that be our style?
It
That's
would be
fair.
the Leroy Jenkins style, but I thought we were supposed to be playing the Seekers.
Yes, well, I also hate those bugs. So if we can find a way
Yeah.
to close the door.
Oh yeah, Rio wants the bugs gone and dead and everything else. She just doesn't want to have to deal with them. And so if they'll close the door, she'll consider that a win and be like, "Hey, we did our best. Can we go home?"
What if we have those constructs with us as bug fodder?
Oh, I'm sure we could fight plenty of bugs, but if they're coming through a door and they're probably breeding, there's probably an unlimited supply
Oh yes,
in
we gotta
order for
close
it
the
to
door.
actually be resolved. Right, we got to close the door. I have a feeling the Drugar aren't going to be okay with us closing the door, and they're probably not going to close the door for us.
If they're
We can
not-
try though. We can ask.
Yeah.
But so the question is, what would we have to do? Would we have to kill all the Drugar to close the door, or would we be trapping them all here forever, basically dooming them to death? I'm neutral, but you other guys might want to think about if that's something you're okay with.
Next episode on Buried Alive.
Well, I mean, they're the ones that caused the problem, so they kind of have to live with it, or die with it.
So let me know when you guys are ready to call the geomancer back.
But we're not. That's the problem.
Earth Lord.
Yeah, we need to speak to the geomancer.
Earth Master. Earth Lord.
You can also
Star
do
Lord,
it
Earth
if
Lord.
you want. I just was making sure you weren't gonna wait for me on that.
I'll knock on the ground 3 times where he disappeared.
A chair descends from the ceiling.
Yeah, we're definitely not gonna fight you. That's for sure.
So, what have you all to say?
Well, we don't like bugs. We don't feel matched to try and attack you. So you're safe. We also don't feel matched to kill anything else anywhere in this place without help. So we need to do something.
We're really not sure what we could do to help.
Right. Is there a way that you think we can help you?
Certainly. You're an unknown factor, and therefore that's always something that can be used.
So you do not know where the door is that they left open then?
Oh, I do, but I am uncertain how they are not bothered by the bugs.
Do you know how to close the door if we were able to get
That's
it?
it?
There are a few ways to potentially do so. I'm sure we can figure something out.
Is the door in their keep or in their city, or is it outside?
It is outside, but they have a strong collection of troops guarding it.
Okay.
Which wouldn't be a big deal if I didn't have to keep my attention elsewhere given the pests that they let in.
Mm-hmm.
So, as is, I have my hands mostly full dealing with pest control.
Okay, so you wouldn't be able to help us too much with the Duragar.
Not necessarily much. Unless
Okay.
you're able to figure something out. You could potentially aid in on a specific endeavor, but not a. Do not have the current resources to full assault with all the cleanup I'm having to do.
Okay.
If we decide to take no sides and have no interaction in this affair, would you allow us safe passage out of this realm? Or at least not be a problem?
I haven't been a problem to you yet. Are you saying that I should be?
I have dealt with less savory negotiators who aren't very friendly should you choose not to do what they wish you to do.
The contractors that force you to sign their contract under duress.
Or who are very kind and friendly until you decide that you maybe don't want to. Then they get a little bit more aggressive.
You can make up your own minds.
Yes, if you have no issue with us leaving without taking part in anything, then I see no reason why we cannot seek their situation or see if they are willing to find a negotiable solution.
Unlikely that they're willing to negotiate, knowing how they are. But if you wish to go that route, I'm fine with it.
I think otherwise I would prefer to be leaving.
I do not think we'll be able to help with the Duragar unless we have some small semblance of help from you. Whether that is some of
Not-
your
Not in a
constructs.
military manner.
Oh, well, I mean,
Right.
I'm not expecting you to wage full out.
How many of them are there?
Unless it's able to count, there was a couple hundred.
Okay. So
How
that
many guards are posted then?
I believe the gate has. I think it was 8 guards potentially that are on rotation.
so we won't be storming the gates then,
Most of them
unless
are
y'all are up for a
members.
1v1.
They have caravans supporting goods and bringing foods and other stuff this way. And usually around that time, it's a point of having more bugs come through, which is just delightful.
Okay, so their caravans let in bugs.
I suspect it may be closely related to edibles.
Like us.
That's the spirit.
This prey fights back.
Poorly.
We still fight back. We also run. Alright. I'm in favor of trying to figure out a peaceful solution and figuring out how they're not overwhelmed by the bugs. To at minimum, at least assist with the bug control, pest control, and removal. Baden's also up for not scrapping a mission as well. I would like to ask the Earthmaster, is there something, what is in it for us to help him with his Duragor problem?
Are you asking him that, or you're saying you want to the group?
I want to the group, and if there's unopposed to him.
Go ahead.
Alright. I'm asking the Earthmaster, what's in it for us if we actually help him? Otherwise, why should we stay?
It's up to you to decide whether you wish to do what is right or wrong. Whether there is any benefit to doing so must be within your own eyes. Whether there's anything outside of that is unknown.
So your side of the quest has no reward in the byline.
Taking care of the Drugar problem would get us a reward from the surface dwellers.
And the Earthmaster isn't interested in us helping him, though he has no help for us, and there is no hope for a military solution.
He said he couldn't give you a military deal, like all out, or like an army.
Right.
He said he could potentially give you assistance in other means, depending on what he
Hey, he could help us get there.
Earthmaster, can you help us get there?
Sure. It's not that hard to get across. Are you one skilled in the Department of Transit?
Traveling through Earth? Yes. Sir.
Just a bit.
I am skilled in traveling on the Earth, not in the Earth.
In case you haven't noticed, I'm a little bit out of my element here. It's a bird on the plane of Earth is not. Flying is difficult, if not dangerous.
You should have brought him.
I mean, a
We
bird in a
are
plane is never a good
we are
idea.
unskilled in transformation magics as well.
What did you say, babe?
I
A bird in a
could
plane
turn
is
us
never
into
a
a
good
mole.
idea, but oh, please
Maybe.
no. That sounds like a terrible idea. Alright. All in favor of Earthmaster helping us get to the Duragar to figure out how they're not affected by the insects, ask them to leave, or figure out what we can do with them.
Yeah.
I think that's
I-
our best plan.
Yep. Same. Best man.
So, Yonovan, how long can we expect it to take for said Drugard to actually come back with an answer as to whether they want our help? Do you have any idea on that?
Can roll a history check again.
I would. I'm saying that what I'm trying to get at is that negotiations might go even more poorly if we
Try and rush them.
yes.
I do not believe you're given a time frame.
Which is what I thought. So it could be depending on how long it takes him to decide. Days, even for all I know, years.
Well, they might decide to try and expel us as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, needless to say, if we are not um, choosing to withdraw, then we should. I'm for accepting the Earthmaster's help in actually reaching the settlement and then going from there.
How many times is this mission changing? I agree, though.
If we take the Earthmaster's help to go to the settlement and we just show up at the settlement, that's basically going to mark us as hostiles, right?
Yeah.
They don't
I was-
necessarily have to know how we got there,
No, but
although they can
we-
read our minds. So
yeah. Also, we didn't do that in the first place to get there when we should have. So, if we had easy means of transit, we could take the long way around, and then they wouldn't suspect anything. Except for, didn't they tell us to wait?
I
mhm.
think we need to keep.
It's also highly likely that, given that they can kind of speak to us in our minds, that they will know that we have met their enemy and also have accepted aid from him anyway, whether we wait or not.
Telepathy means that communication is not necessarily being able to read the mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being able to read active thoughts does not mean probing memories, etc.
That's fair.
Well, we can do our best to just simply investigate and learn what we can about the situation, because we haven't given the Duger. We can give as our excuse that we haven't given them a chance to explain their side.
Mm-hmm. Rio says she will not be assisting the Drugar. And against him, I should say.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to step away for maybe 10 minutes. Sorry.
And Rio's gonna sit at the camp and say, you know what? I think I'm just gonna wait here for now.
Bug problems.
Hmm.
Hmm.
We're still in way over our heads.
Oh yes.
Yes, but if the Drugar decide to attack us, we'll just cast sunlight.
Exactly.
Who knows
It-
sunlight?
If they decide to attack us, they're probably not going to bring their whole force of 100.
That too.
Also, if they're leaving 8 defending that, and they have, I assume, some of them mining and transporting or whatever else, I don't think we'd be fighting more than the 8 that are guarding the gate. Like, it would be 8. So it wouldn't be a guaranteed loss. More likely, we would do a strategic retreat.
Light and strategic retreat would be our best bet.
Mm-hmm. But
You don't
right
have
now,
any flash bombs?
No.
I think he's out.
Darn.
Got any of the materials to make some while we wait?
Can we rig some of that force powder to rapid ignition for flash powder?
It doesn't exactly produce a lot of light to create a flash.
Yeah, it's
It's a little flame devoid, which is part of the purpose.
It's force powder. It generates force, not light powder that generates light.
yeah.
It's where you take something from Neurosil and grind it up and make flash powder.
Not grinding up yours.
Wait, if Neurosil can channel his energy into those
He's not here.
crystals, can he make a white crystal for light powder?
Probably, but he's not here,
Mhm.
so you'll have to wait until we get back to the ship to find out.
All the ideas.
You should have Rio channel her energy into it to see what happens.
You should have created something like an artificer as well if you wanted to play with stuff like that.
I was mostly expecting it to explode in her face.
Okay. Got any regular gunpowder you want to fit?
Yes.
Can we do rapid ignition flashbangs?
I mean, I have no canisters, like, where we put it in.
True.
Like, I have all of this stuff that goes boom, but, like, nothing to make grenades with. I mean, that's always been what I go shopping for.
Is the Earthmaster here still?
Make us some clay bombs.
Well, I was thinking that, or he could repay us with some rare earth ores and stuff. That we could make more things with.
From the little bit I've heard, that doesn't seem like something he would want to be removing from the ground.
Yeah.
True.
That's kind of what the Druger are doing that he doesn't like, so
Can you just
Why would
give
I
us
need
what the
to
Drugar
remove
have?
it when that's not something I would need.
It is something that could be useful to us as if we're able to help you with the Drugar problem. That would benefit us and you.
Well, we can talk about it if you accomplish your task.
Okay. But yeah, clay bombs?
let's just go with the non-violent option for one.
Okay.
Oh.
But violent backup?
Sure.
This is
But-
the
It's always
Yeah, it
Considering-
always goes to the violent option.
we always start with, talking, but it's good to have the bombs if you need them.
It's good to have the metal straws just in case.
Yeah, thermal detonators do make negotiation easier.
Especially when they're primed.
It depends on who you're negotiating with. Sometimes they make it worse.
Negotiations with mind flayers never go well.
It makes negotiations go faster.
That's true.
Great.
I was gonna say,
You
there's-
have a thermal detonator. You're in a sealed room now. Oh, by the way, this is just a hologram you're talking to.
Oh, well, that's your fault for just showing your hand too early. But also, there's no negotiation with mind flayers.
Exactly.
The thermal detonator is just there to make it less painful for you.
Okay. So ask the Earthmaster for his help to the town. Like a half-mile away or so.
Rio says if I'm not going to just walk all the way to town, she's going to stay here.
splitting the party. Yeah.
Okay. How far from town would you like to be? I can get you there.
Just the question, how are you getting us there? And how will we contact you again?
I have means. I will leave an associate there.
Okay. What is our message to 1 tap for we need help, 2 taps for come back immediately?
My associate speaks common.
Okay, that works too.
Well, I should say understands it. Doesn't exactly speak it.
Is this one of your other constructs?
Oh no.
Just like the ones that I made.
He's a fraud.
Made.
Okay.
So we're going with the violent option out of the gate. Okay.
Well, hopefully non-violent, but
Mm-hmm.
prepared for the worst.
We're not waiting for them to
Because-
contact us for however many months it takes.
Right.
Yeah.
But we've only waited for like a couple of hours, or like half a day.
We waited overnight. It's the best we can
An
tell.
8-hour long sleep, I believe.
Yes.
By the way, who was on watch, or did we all sleep?
We all slept. We were tired. We were told it was a safe place.
Oh,
I woke
right,
up
true.
with the Earthmaster. Oh, that is a good question. Were we alone before Earthmaster, or did you have to scare off Durgar to speak with us?
What do you mean? Did I have to scare off?
When we
Are
went
the
to
Durgar
bed,
aware we talked with you now?
were there Duergar standing watch basically in the area before we awoke?
No,
Or were we
they
all alone?
crossed the cavern and not returned yet.
Okay,
This
so they
location.
left us alone. Got it. Okay.
Do you think the Durgar are aware that we have spoken with you?
They're not that foolish.
Then we
Um,
should give them no reason to suspect that.
Then why don't we just wait?
That sounds like a wonderful solution.
Alright.
It's your call. They may take a while. They're very slow.
Give them a little bit of time.
How about we give them 1 day and then we cross?
Rio's good with that. She's good at chilling, but not good at waiting.
Alright.
Very well.
I'm wondering how these bugs taste.
Well, if you do not wish my assistance, then I will depart and deal with the other things I need to deal with.
We will take your assistance tomorrow, same time.
If
If
necessary.
if the Duergar have not come back with an answer.
If I am able, I will be here.
Alright.
Thank
Look
you.
forward to meeting you tomorrow.
More bug centers, so I may be tied up. We'll see.
Okay. Hopefully you were tied up only in the metaphorical sense tomorrow.
Most likely just a little
Okay. Have a good day.
And he moves down to the stone.
I must resist the urge to make joke about dungeon masters.
Okay. So we wait for day.
You can mark your head off.
Yeah.
How much did you bring for rations?
Not enough.
Does anyone know? Or was it just Cookie who was tracking?
I think it was just Cookie that was tracking.
The standard explorer's pack contains 10 rations. If we've been here for a day and a half now, it's probably we've eaten 4 or 5 of them.
I thought a ration was 1 day's worth of food. Not one meal's
Same.
1 day. And
If that's the case, then
do bags of holding still work in this plane?
They do.
Then assuming that I was able to carry a normal bag through or it worked as we went through, either way, I have quite a few.
Quite a few. What?
Rations, days of rations. I'll have to pull up my inventory, but I had a bunch stuffed in a bag of holding.
So we're good for a while at least.
Okay, that is something that is good to keep track of. Where did you get a bunch of them from?
Well, I guess it depends on how long rations last, though I believe in the standard handbook it doesn't actually say that they have an expiration date.
They're the standard MREs.
Bought them, well, keep replenishing them whenever we're at port, but I bought them a long time ago.
Like a long time ago, like, do you not remember buying them?
I
this
remember
game's been
buying
going
them
on
and
for over a year
Yes.
at this point, right?
yes.
Right, but
Hey,
was this before he lost his memory?
either way, I'd know what I had in the bag of holding.
I mean, you just found these random rations in your holding. You don't know where they're from.
Okay, well, I know I've got a bunch of bag of rations in my bag of holding. My player character knows that I bought them a long time ago. I don't remember if it was before or after the memory incident, but it was probably about the similar time period.
I mean, you could always just feed some of us your rations first and see what happens. That would be Rio style.
I mean, I could have switched him out with fresh rations.
That too.
True, that still would have cost. I don't remember you saying you're buying more of anything, so that's what I'm trying to
You're right.
clarify.
Yes, I probably didn't say I was buying more, though. I think the what's it 5 SP, well, and plus water skins, so it's like almost half a gold per day's worth of rations from our how many thousand gold? I will go and calculate it if you like. But being that Rio hadn't bought anything with her gold unless it was for the ship, I don't think it really matters if I've got 20 gold worth of rations or not. But if you'd like, I'll go back through and I'll calculate all of that and I'll figure out which port I bought it from.
Well, it's worth tracking going forward because it is something that, on 2 locations you've been in now, is something that does matter. That is all.
Okay. So we'll probably just make sure we have enough rations in the bag of holding once we leave as well. And then each of us can replenish our own traveler's bag of 10 days of rations once we get out.
Also, yeah, I think we probably don't want to spend too much time thinking about the logistics, otherwise it gets rather tedious and annoying to go adventuring with logistics, because nobody remembers water skins and how freaking much they weigh.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Nate saying no less than like 3 times, like 3 sessions ago, that it would matter here.
Well, that was probably one of the sessions that I wasn't here. But I have them in the bag of holding, and does anyone else have water skins with them?
I assume was standard rations, but
Yeah.
Standard rations does not include water, it's food only.
then I have died of thirst.
Or you've asked me
Same.
for it. In which case, I suggest we all leave this area immediately. Because, by the way, I think each water skin, which I believe is 1 day's worth of water, is 5 pounds.
Water skin is usually a half day of water. If I remember
Oh, a half day of water. So in that case, yeah, we're basically out of food. We need to just leave.
Yes, my explorer's pack would have a water skin. But
Right, so 1 water skin is 1/2 day's worth of water. I'm assuming there isn't any water on this plane.
Why don't we retroactively ask the Earthmaster, is there a clean source of water nearby?
As he says, water? What's that?
If you plane shift, there is a lovely large quantity of water.
Is it also known as an ocean? Or a water plane?
Yes. However, there's the transient plains as well. You could go there to acquire water. However, here it's not known for having an abundance of water.
Alright, if we're...
I believe the Drugar imported it.
can Cookie use his magic to create food and water?
That's a good question.
I know Cookie has stepped away.
Well, B?
I think at this point we need to find out very quickly if you can, otherwise we need to leave.
Otherwise, we need to either go to the Duergar today instead of waiting.
Duergar import water. If y'all
Yeah.
missed.
Cookie, you had mentioned acquiring provisions before you guys came, but I do not remember
Well, and
Were you having someone else tracked?
I thought the
That was
provisions he
okay.
got were for the ship, and that everyone else was assumed to have it carrying it on their person, but also you don't want to be encumbered with heavy amounts of food and water.
Well, knowing what I know with Netheril, I believe we would probably have on the order of 6 to 8 water skins per person. That's all we would have realistically expected or been able to carry.
So 3 to 4 days.
Yeah, water's heavy, guys.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
You can't carry a lot of it. And I think that's a reasonable. I haven't personally given it any thought before.
I don't think any of us have.
Which is usually not a big deal when you have access to it. Which is why before you came this direction, you mentioned it was something that needed to be tracked for this segment.
You kind of mentioned it after
After we got in.
so we had to pretend that we'd set it up anyway.
Alright, well, if food and water is concerned, let's travel today.
Which he did tell you
Via
they
the
are
Earth map.
importing it, so there is
Right.
some means of
That
acquisition.
makes a really good reason for us to go there.
Yes. So I think transport us about a mile out or so. So we walk in a half hour or so before we get to the town.
Yes. Before you guys go super far into that, sorry, I was muted. You guys realize if you're a good aligned character and you want to shut down the portal, unless you get all of the Drugar to march through it first, you're literally dooming them to starve to death. So for
No,
those of you who
not
alignment
starve.
actually
Yeah,
matters
you
for your
mentioned it.
abilities,
A much, much worse way to go.
well, whatever. You are dooming 100 people to die.
Yes.
Just saying, if that's going to affect your alignment at all, you might want to consider it.
We recognize that. Killing guards is one thing. Killing the workers and children behind the walls is a much different thing.
In that case, I just want to leave.
Yes. We need to figure out if there is any sort of peaceful solution to it.
Yeah, I say if there's no peaceful solution, we just leave.
We need to go
I
first
agree
to
with
see.
them. No, we don't have to go.
Okay, so pros and cons here. If we travel further away from, that makes it that much harder to get back,
Yes.
right?
If
That-
we travel across to their city, we would not have enough resources to walk back unless the Geomancer takes us back or they take us back.
Correct. And based on our latent abilities, that seems an unwise choice. We can wait to the length of our water supplies, but I'd rather not wait that long because, as you know, we were set running one day as far as we could. So we should do an honest vote and honor the vote. Does it sound okay for us to do a vote on this? We haven't really done that as
Sure.
a group, as players
I-
before.
Sure.
I think we should vote on it. I would like to ask one question first. did we record how much time we were in this plane? I know obviously we've had a long rest. Have we only been here 12 hours? Or has it been a day and 12 hours or something like that?
It's been about 12 hours.
Been several hours and a long rest.
It's about 5 hours plus long
It's
rest
hard
is
to
what I
track
got.
time down here.
Mhm.
Can
But
we assume it's been basically a day or less?
Correct.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have 3 days left, assuming we,
Yes.
or based on our water supply.
Based
Mhm.
off of the standard loadout that we were saying, hey, yeah, we would have gone in there with a standard loadout. We're not that stupid. Our characters aren't that stupid.
Yes. And from what we were told, it is 2 days from where we're at to the crossing point, and then 2 days, 2 to 3 days back. So if we get there, we load up with fresh
Oh, Rio's not talking
rations.
about going to the crossing point.
Right.
Rio's saying sit here for a little bit of time to get a response from them and then go back to our original entry point. That would take us less than a day to get back.
Correct.
A day if things go badly. Correct?
Correct.
When we went through, they seemed like that we could go back at any time. We wouldn't have to like wait for a bus schedule.
It did seem that way.
Yeah.
So we're not going to be sitting there waiting for 3 days at the other end and be like, are they going to open up?
From what we know, correct.
Okay.
We'd also have to find our way back to the tunnels again after we get back to the main tunnel.
Okay.
Okay. So, based on the given information, Cookie could wait a day, but then he'd want to go home. I'd be okay with going home now. This situation is well outside our pay grade. Aerolith?
Yeah, if we're in danger of running out of water, let's just go ahead and leave. Oh, am I still on mute?
No, I heard
No,
you.
no, you're
It's
fine.
good. So at what point would you start to feel in danger of running out of water?
Well, if we can get there super fast using the Earth guy, and then knew he could get us out of there just as fast, then I wouldn't worry about it.
He did
The
say he could leave
situation?
his friend there to be able to bring you back to the other side, this side of the chasm, if you want.
Assuming he wasn't too busy.
No, that's if to come back tomorrow. If you wanted him just to come back tomorrow. So it sounds like his friend may be the one who would assist you going back and forth.
So
In that case, I say let's go over there. If we can do it real fast, talk to them, and if it looks like they're not gonna budge, then just leave.
All right, we've got Aerolith's vote. Kleok.
Get out of here now.
Okay. Ryu.
I typed it, but I will wait. I would vote to wait a day, see if we get a response from the Drugar here without going anywhere, without doing anything special, without fighting any buggies. And if not, we return home at least to gather supplies. Because I don't think that just showing up at the front gates of their city and saying, hey guys, we're thirsty, can we get some water? Don't think that's going to show up too well, especially with how they treat dwarves, and especially since if they haven't given a response on if they'll even let him help or
Okay.
let us help. So the
Right.
only reason to cross the chasm in Rio's eyes is to fight them.
Yonovan. Muted Yonovan.
No, I'm not muted. I'm just. It's
You're just
complicated.
conflicted.
Just a bit. I see reasons to stay and I see reasons to go.
Hey, that means I did my job right.
No.
We can come back to you, Baden.
Baden is a little conflicted as well, but if we have near instantaneous travel across and a way back, he'd like to at least try to talk to them. And if all goes poorly, we just leave.
All right. So you are with Aerolith, and I'm with Ryu, and Cleoc is just go. All right.
Can I clarify one thing about yours? You said go to them and talk to them, not wait for them and talk to them, correct? You were going to the front
Correct.
gates and yell over the walls. Have you made your decision yet?
Pretty much.
I'm more willing to wait here and then leave than accept a teleport there.
We don't have the water to wait in my eyes, and so it's either take action or leave.
Unless we run into a whole bunch of combat on the way back, we're like an hour's walk from the portal, right? Or 2 hours or 4 hours.
Probably about 5 hours.
We're some distance because we did walk to this place.
But-
Based. I still
Okay.
wanted to give Yonovan the chance to vote.
Yes, I think that's great.
I vote to go now. I don't see a reason to wait for them.
All right. The consensus has it. We are going back home.
Well, wait, so Yonovan, was your go now as to go to the Durgar place or go home now?
Go to the Drugar place now.
So we have 3 and 3. 3 wait, 3 go.
Great.
Well, did Cookie and Ryu want to wait here, or did they want to leave the plane?
They want to wait here, and if we get no response after a short wait, go leave the plane. Cleoc said he'd be okay with waiting, but he wants to leave the plane, so I was somewhat counting his vote with ours. Is that is Cleoc okay with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
So what Squeaks want?
Squeaks is the deciding vote.
Oh gosh, that's just wrong.
You have to find him first.
Investigations check for Squeaks and all the clothes.
Squeak has been abducted.
Squeaks
Well, I
already
guess
went
how
home.
large and reduced. Maybe just,
We already know
shrink
you
himself a
didn't
bit.
have the voice for it, so
Sorry.
Well, here's how I see the situation, both in character and out of character. We've all sort of given two opinions. We'll do this or we'll do that. And the general consensus of the combination of all of those adds up to more like 2/3 of us just want to leave if we can't have everything and we can't agree on a plan of action. So it seems like we've reasonably decided to leave and go home.
Rio's okay with that.
Have I read the room wrong?
It sounded like Beta and Airlift weren't too thrilled with that option. But it
Yeah,
does
I
sound
know
like
Aerolith
the
said he
other
didn't
way.
want to screw up another mission.
And we have to keep making money somehow.
Ella's not gonna fight with the group though. If you guys want to head out, then she'll go ahead and leave with you.
And that's the problem. I think we're closer to 2/3 on that, and as a group, that's why I asked before we brought a vote on it.
I was kind of envisioning that one aerolith wants to stay and the other aerolith wants to go, considering that one aerolith has died and it still has -3 to like all rolls right now because resurrection sickness.
I actually forgot about that. You know what? I actually think we should go. You've convinced me. Let's get out of here.
Right. That's a pretty good argument.
Airless already died once. No need to do it a second time.
All right. So we'll break camp and set off towards where we hope we'll find the entrance to this place, and we'll do it quietly, right, guys?
Yes, quietly.
Sure. When have we ever done something that wasn't quiet?
Many times.
As quiet as we can.
You know, I'm sure Magic Guy would feel fine about taking us to the entrance too if we want.
Yeah, I think we should ask.
Oh, dude, yeah, we totally should ask for that. Anyone remember how to call him?
Hey, Magic Walk Guy.
I lean down, knock on the floor 3 times, and say, Earthmaster.
What he said.
Or servant of Earthmaster? 'Cause
Didn't we
he
just
did
like
speak
talk to
common.
him? Didn't we? Well, we don't know about the servant, but didn't we just talk to him a little bit? And he's like, "Hey, yeah, I can come back by in like a day. You know, if
He
I'm
said
not
he'd
busy."
come back if he wasn't busy. Yeah.
Right. So if you guys want him to help you, the best option is to wait.
Yeah, but it takes less time to just walk.
Yeah, this walk.
We also
If you-
said
What about if we sneak? Remember sneaking, guys.
yes.
I was gonna say if he doesn't come back right away after calling him, then let's just go ahead and sneak.
I agree.
If that's the party's agreement, Rio will follow.
Yeah, if you call him appropriately, a little figure shows up. Looks like that guy. Says, Master's unavailable right now.
We got
Leave a
voicemail?
message after the beep.
He may wait here until he is able. He may have a great day. And then he floats back, just burns essentially back into the rock.
Huh.
Okay.
Walking it is. Quietly. I don't want to die again.
On the other hand, if we cause a big enough stir, the master might appear.
Yeah, and then he'll
Eh?
be irritated at us.
Yes. And we'll be
We'll be
trying to
less
not die
irritated
from
because we did
insects.
kill a few bugs on the way here,
Exactly.
and some of his constructs. But yes,
Well,
Okay.
his constructs are
Neat.
just constructs.
did he summon the big construct?
Did
That's
we
a good
ever
question.
attack his constructs?
Yes,
We-
you actually blew
Did
it.
they
Yana
ever attack
blew a
us?
few of them up.
Oh. Yeah,
I mean,
Did
his
we
constructs
ever-
were literally dirt. They're
Well,
constructs.
We never attacked his constructs. They never attacked us.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, but we didn't know that they were potential allies in this fight. Other than, well, they were fighting the bugs, but we weren't sure whether this was an enemy of our enemy is our friend situation.
Right. And hard to stick around long enough to tell.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
weren't tempted to do that.
Roll stealth checks.
All right.
Yay, I don't suck.
That's debatable.
Thank
17
you.
for Baden.
Depends on how good their
16.
perception is.
Uh-huh.
Won't matter. 4 for Donovan.
All right, I'm probably gonna roll horribly because that would be, karma, right?
We rolling stealth checks.
Paralyzed.
Yes.
Just a second.
Yeah, 1 sec. Actually, it kicked me out of the game, so 1 sec.
4 for Donovan, 16 for Kitty.
What's my footstep?
Cleoc stealth is an 8.
12.
What about Arrowhead's other part?
Oh, that's right, dang it. Ten.
It's like built-in disadvantage. Ouch.
It really is.
For you? Are you able to William?
Just 1 sec. And I got even worse. I got a 9. Yup.
Hello, kitty.
Well,
He sounds surprised.
me?
Mm-hmm.
Not about that.
Trying to think of ways to handle
Our overall poor stealth checks.
Yeah.
The fact that we're about to be swarmed by tons of enemies.
Donovan, you got the low roll, is that correct? Like out of everyone, you got the lowest. Is that correct?
He got a 4, yes. Baden's also
Jesus.
keeping an eye on front, too.
So
This
we're
lightning storm.
not having one over here, so that's Rachel. The beans you had this morning for breakfast, Donovan, aren't sitting well with you. And there's a nice loud noise that emanates from you. You all have one action to take right now to make one quick decision. What are you going to do?
Baden
Oh.
looks around and sees everything within 120 feet.
Nothing
I-
yet.
I
You can't see
mean,
through wall.
how am I to just react to a
I
sound?
disguise self to look like a Dugar. Wait, is that a dumb idea?
Disguise as
Yes.
what?
Yeah, it's a really dumb idea. I don't do
That's
that.
a very good dumb idea.
I have the hat of disguise. I could literally look like a Drugar, but no.
Cleoc turns around and puts his talon/finger up in front of his beak in a shush manner to Donovan.
Baden readies his shield and is watching.
Yeah, I think. Can we do a readied action as our one reaction to this?
What's your passive perception? Cleo.
17.
Oh, yours as well.
Cleoc's passive perception is 16.
Doesn't it move me to 17?
Passive? No.
Nope.
Then Baden say 17?
Yeah.
Wait, was the noise you said you're going on alert a bit, and you feel a vibration on the floor, similar to what you felt before.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Quick, everyone hide!
you guys have two options. Either you can attempt to use your skills and evacuate out of here quickly, or you can deal with fighting some more bugs. Your pick.
Do I have any idea of how many bugs?
Probably just as many as before, but just as consistent as before.
There's more bugs coming, guys.
I think
Well-
Rio's. When you say that, Rio's gonna say, "Run!"
I don't know. Is there a way to run silently?
No.
So here's our two options. We can either stay and fight and try and deal with the lower number of them, or we can run and attract a whole bunch of them. However, fighting would also likely attract a whole bunch of them because fighting is generally loud.
Donovan,
And that's what happened
no
last
noise
time.
cannons.
What basically kind of comes down to is, you guys want to try to do a skill challenge, or do you want to actually have a combat encounter? Either one may wind up not
Can't have
beneficial
combat.
for you.
I mean,
Well, the skill challenge might end up in a combat encounter at disadvantage. We either stay here, set up a trap, and then go, or we like ready actions to like try and take out the initial wave and then go, or we book it out now.
Well, what I suggest we do is both of us toss a bag of tricks animal and send them in the opposite direction that we're running. So we'll split whatever's coming at us.
That
That's
sounds
a
like
good
a good
idea.
plan.
I like that idea. And I like the idea of us running, especially since Jonathan's on Kitty or can be on Kitty with Squeaks
Yeah.
on Kitty.
Yeah.
Who's the slowest party member besides that?
I'm 30.
I think 30 is the
Pretty normal.
slowest.
Yeah.
Because
thought it-
I'm planning to fly.
And yeah, bag of tricks. Tell them to go and run the other way. Do we run towards the entrance or back to the safe spot?
If we run
Uh,
towards the entrance, we're trying to get out of here. And who
I'm
knows
like,
that it's still safe?
Well, and I don't know how far we got before he farted.
That's true.
Now the thing about it is that if will the guy be willing to take us back to the other plane if we're being chased by a whole bunch of stuff?
Presumably.
Well, I mean, if we're being chased by a giant swarm of bad guys, who knows? At this point,
we're going to be loud. We're going to get into big combat either,
Yeah.
or
Do
we
we
can run
think that-
away. We should probably run away because reasons.
we don't
I
have any
say-
more explosives that would be really loud that we could like chuck down into the canyon. And we probably can't kill them quietly. So even if we kill them, there's just gonna be more and more until we've, wiped ourselves out.
We
Right.
also haven't been traveling noisily back and forth for 2 hours. There's significantly fewer of them in the area.
Right.
Hopefully.
Hopefully we can run faster than they can get quite to us.
One
That-
final
Probably not true.
one final thing that we may not necessarily count on, but could be a potential option is that if we do attract a bunch of bugs, guess who else we're going to attract?
Well, right. We can hope for some help.
But are we going to attract them fast enough?
Yeah.
That's the problem. I'm going to vote for a skill challenge
Okay.
to try and avoid.
Then what we'll do
I vote for
is
that too.
we'll go down the list. Donovan, Baden, Cookie, Leok, Rio, Sheridan, or Marilyn. And you guys can say what skill you want to use. Basically, you pick a skill and say how you want to use it. And I'll set a DC for it, and we will roll and see if you guys make it. So, yeah. Are you ready to go?
Sure, what skill am I rolling?
You pick a skill and tell me how you plan on using it to assist in your leaving this place, getting to your destination, and and then you roll, and I will set a DC based on what you say, and we'll rate it, and go from there.
Do a performance check.
How do you see words being used in this endeavor?
I am throwing my voice, as it were.
You could try that. It's really difficult.
We've gotten this far. I don't have advantage at it or bonus in it, but we're
I
gonna
mean,
go
I
that
could
route.
recommend a few options, but then people would have to pick different ones as well.
I mean,
pretty
sleight of
standard
hand,
ones.
or sleight of hand or deception to like point at someone else, but
Sort of skill
I don't see how
challenge
that would help.
probably wouldn't help too much. And another one of mine.
I mean, animal handling or acrobatics for writing skill for getting out of there.
You could roll like an athletics if you're trying to push yourself. You could do
Well,
survival.
he's riding Kitty.
This way back, you know,
Yeah, that's
there's
what I was
options.
saying. Acrobatics for animal handling for writing kitty.
Yeah, I can see that.
All right.
So do animal handling to see how. Well, kitty's kind of your thing, so kind of obeys. So it might
You
actually
could roll a
be
check
athletics for
as the kitty.
I'll check ask it. What do you want me to roll? Or
If you're saying use kitty as your means
Yes.
of getting there quicker, it would probably more be a athletics for kitty if you're just trying to have kitty go as quick as possible.
okay.
If you're trying to do something different, then there could be a different option.
Still only a 9.
Okay.
Baden is going to try and use a stealth slash deception slash acrobatics to toss a bag of ball bearings as far as he can towards the canyon as a distractionary noise.
Okay.
So could that be a method of stealth?
I could see that being a deception.
Okay, well, it was a natural 20.
Well, cool.
So, yeah. It's a final of 20.
Okay. Good. That works. Cookie.
Cookie is going to he was thinking about what would insects be afraid of. So I'm going to do a what would this be? Some kind of like a nature check? Yeah. A nature check. 18. And I'm going to attempt to basically intimidate them. I don't know if intimidation is the right term. I'm going to leave a fire behind that they won't like. I'm going to drop a flask of oil and a lit torch and leave fire behind us.
Oh, real quick, we said that the people with bag of tricks threw one of the animals out and said, "Run that way," down the
Yeah.
other direction. So they're tromping loudly down the other direction away from us.
Yeah.
So, for creatures that burrow, you're going to leave a fire on the floor behind you.
Oh.
Cookie's
Well,
panicking. Might
well,
as well.
maybe that 18 would give me the insight that plan doesn't work. In which
These
case,
are very fast running, very capable of burrowing insects.
I will I will tell them that I'm really, really big by shouting curses in giant in an intimidation check.
Okay. I
14.
don't know that giant would intimidate them since they're unaligned, unsentient creatures that don't understand a language. So basically, you just make a
No,
loud noise
sure.
at them.
Oh. Oh,
Is what you said.
crap.
Sure, let's attract them.
I'm just pointing out what you said and letting you make a decision. That's why I said, tell me what you want to try. Because I'm trying to.
Okay.
Not
Then-
trying to screw you over. I'm trying to,
Basically, I would just be trying to book it, and if I can't think of anything clever,
I mean, you can try one of those things if you want. Just
no,
it
no.
would mean that the DC is higher.
I think I would use my acrobatics to help me go.
Okay. How do you see acrobatics helping you move along faster?
Well,
Just describe it.
I'm not
It's like
very
skipping a
strong,
step.
but I am very flexible. So consequently, if I try to run fast, I'm going to be tripping. If I was just running, so instead of running, I sort of dance fast. Oh, hey, I even have this other thing.
So Cookie is skipping along as we're all running.
Actually, you see something even weirder happen. He falls down and just keeps going. The skill check doesn't really work for that.
You crawl at full speed.
At full speed,
You crawl
yeah.
at Mach 2. That does not make
Can't
sense.
unfortunately crawl any faster than normal speed.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. This is really difficult to envision.
Well, acrobatics could be used to navigate around blockages and over blockages.
The
Yeah.
blockages being your feet.
Well, this is Earth. It's not necessarily going to be
It's not
super
nice,
convenient
smooth,
terrain.
uninterrupted terrain.
Right.
It's plenty of interruptions.
So I'll use acrobatics to avoid interruptions in travel.
Okay.
That seems like a reasonable idea.
Yeah. I rolled a 13 on that.
Yeah.
Cleok is going to use perception, take advantage of both his light source and leading all the people without dark vision, Aerolith, and myself. I've got the light source. I've got the superior movement. I'm going to use perception to look out for and try and lead us down the smoothest path back.
Okay.
So that we have to make less, the smoothest, quickest path back to, so we don't have to vault or climb or do any or stuff like that.
Okay.
That roll was I rolled it earlier. That was a 25 actually.
Nice.
Nice.
Ryu.
Ryu's going to use acrobatics to walk light-footed, sort of like a Native American, and is dodge all the large rocks that she can see clearly as she runs along at full speed. And I got a 15 for the acrobatics.
Apparently.
I'm going to roll religion and pray as hard as I can.
Last
What
example,
deity
you had
does
me told
Erlen
your
believe in?
deity.
What was that? No.
Well, look at your skills and consider the scene that's been set. And what could you see being done? Pretend you're doing a skit or you're watching a movie of this scenario. What would you see the character do to attempt to get to the destination?
Well, I was gonna try to use athletics to run as fast as I could, but there's a point about a lot of obstacles and not being able to see very far, so that wouldn't be the most helpful.
Would still be a pretty good thing to just push your abilities.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's still basically pushing yourself to run fast.
I will do that.
I mean, you do have two bodies. That would make some
Uh,
acrobatic things more fun.
And 2 pairs of eyes, so you should be better at seeing, things that are going to get in your way.
well, that's a 10 for one body, and a 7 for the other. So,
Alright. So, over the course of this time, you have noticed the sound of the bugs getting further and closer at varying points. You have a little bit further to go. Potential option could be also survival to actually run the path back. Or find the path back. Or you could use other skills in varying ways as well still. Let's do one more round and hope you guys can make it. You are close. Jonathan.
Oh joy.
Joy to the world, you can roll a 1. And sprout the bugs upon you.
I rolled an 18 this time.
You what?
Rolled an 18 this time.
Nice. What were you using? You basically have to change it up and make a different skill.
I'll use stealth as a quick gallop to one side and then try and be quiet and sneak past that point. So you make a little bit of sound in a quick movement and then you slow up and try and get away from that point that you last was hurt at.
Yeah. Okay. You rolled an 18.
I rolled an 18, so it's a 20.
Nice.
Or a 19 if we're using kitties.
Baden will keep an eye out while running full speed for the tunnels and looking to find the same one with his perception. With a number greater than 20. 23.
23? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Cookie.
So, Cookie is going to attempt a survival check to remember the exact way we came here. Path back to the entrance.
Okay. What'd you get?
15.
Nice.
Tornado warning.
It's like you're in Oklahoma or something.
No, I mean the sirens are going right here.
Oh boy.
Oh.
There's no for baiting then too. Let's quickly wrap this up then. So yeah.
I hear nothing.
Cleoc was going to do survival as well, and that would be 11.
Okay. Go for it.
That 11.
11.
Yes.
Read, sir.
Let Sheridan go first, if that's okay.
Oh, okay. I'm going. Since running isn't working, I'm gonna try switching to stealth. Just sneak my way past.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, no, get to safety.
There's a tornado about 4 miles north of Nate.
4 miles north of me.
Mm-hmm.
A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 7 miles north of Edmond or near Seward, moving
Yep.
south at 20 miles per hour.
So go hole up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll call it for the
Yep.
night. We'll come back. It's 9 o'clock anyways.
Yep. Alright.
Just
Yeah.
post when it's passed.
Yep. We'll keep an eye on it. And we'll see you guys
Okay.
next week.
Alright.
Take care.
See ya.
Go hole up.
Later.
Yes.
Stay safe, everyone.
Will
Yeah.
do.